Hello, how's it going? Happy Friday. So, we're going to take a break from p values today and talk a little bit about just streaks in sports to kind of take a break. So, the article that's linked is going to be about streaks in basketball, and specifically like shooter streaks. So, like when a player gets hot and makes a bunch of baskets in a row and kind of what does that mean? Is it significant? What's kind of happening there? So it's a longer article, but it is an interesting read. I recommend that you take a look at it. And this is where I just kind of want to apologize. This class is really built around like what's happening in sports and like having discussions and kind of analyzing things. And it's sort of impossible to do that right now. So, again, try to read the article, take a look at it. Hopefully, you find it interesting. Um, and it just kind of challenges some of your assumptions about sports and your own experiences and kind of what you've seen and observed in your life, either playing sports, watching sports, or just, reading and hearing about sports. So, anyways, it's an interesting read. It kind of talks about like streaks and understanding streaks and kind of what's happening and what's going on there. So, again, take a look at it. I think you'll enjoy it. It does go into a little detail, but it's all kind of pretty interesting. Sort of the breakdown there. Now, as far as the activity or the lab today, it's a Friday. This was supposed to be April break, so it's going to be pretty easy. It's not going to take very long, and it's going to be on the idea of just how unusual are streaks, what can be expected, what cannot be expected, what's normal and what's unusual. So in the clip there, it's from the movie Moneyball, and it just talks about the giant winning streak the Athletics went on. It was like a big part of the movie, and it was exciting for them, and a lot happened. And we're just going to take a look at like how crazy streaks actually are. So I'm going to show you. I'm going to go back to the applets that we've been using. What you're going to be doing in the lab isn't with the applet, but I just want to kind of show it for the purposes here. So up here, I can put in a sequence where S is like a win for success and F is a failure. So what I just pasted in was basically an entire baseball season's worth of S's and F's. And this particular team, I had win 96 games. All right. So there are 96 S's there, which means there are 66. No, wait, 96. There's 162. Yeah, 66 F's in there because there are 162 games in a season. So this is a team that went 96 and 66. What this Apple is going to do is it's going to take those wins and losses and just shuffle them up and say, all right, if we just randomly shuffle up these wins and losses, what can happen? What streaks can happen from just dumb luck versus them having any greater meaning. So, what this applet is going to do is I'm going to shuffle these up 1,000 times. Right? And each time it's going to calculate the longest streak of wins. All right. So it's going to say, all right, I'm shuffling up all these S's and F's. The team is always going to win 96 games. And we're just going to see how often a long streak can happen. All right. So if I hit this button right here, add more trials, I get my dot plot here. And what we can see, if I scroll down here, is just via dumb luck, this team, hypothetical team that always wins 96 games, out of 1,000 times, 4 times it just ended up with a winning streak of 19 games via dumb luck. Once it ended up with an 18 game winning streak, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times it ended up with a 17-game winning streak. Twice it ended up with a 16-game winning streak. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times it ended up with a 15-game winning streak. So it's just to illustrate that streaks, sometimes they represent something magical, but they also can just be random luck. If you have enough seasons and enough teams that are winning 96 games, sooner or later, they are just going to luck into a 19-game winning streak. And we have a hard time accepting that as human beings, like 19 in a row, like that's crazy. But if you do something enough times, streaks like that are almost a certainty. All right. This was 1,000 trials. I could clear this out. All right. Let me clear this out again, do it again. I'll do 1,000 more trials. And let's take a look. No, this time I didn't get any 19-game winning streaks, but I got 3 17-game winning streaks. Let's do it again. All right, paste it in there, shuffle 1,000 times, add more trials. This time we ended up with 3 18-game winning streaks. So again, it's one of these things that it kind of messes with our intuition because you wouldn't think that something like that, 18, 19 in a row, could happen just by random chance. But in fact, it can. If you do something long enough, it can and will happen. I mean, there's a 20-game winning streak just by randomly shuffling up wins and losses. And this isn't even a great team. I mean, a 96-win team, yeah, they're going to probably make the playoffs. They're a good team, but they're not an amazing team. They didn't win 100 games. And yet it's still possible for them to have a really long winning streak just because of, how wins and losses randomly get distributed across the season. So again, streaks are special. They're fun. They're interesting to watch, but they don't always have a greater meaning, and sportscasters always try to give it a greater meaning. Like, oh, the team pulled together. They did this, they did that. There's an entire movie about the Oakland Athletics and their streak, but it doesn't always have a greater meaning. If you do something long enough, these streaks are going to happen. So anyways, with that, what you're going to do is there's a spreadsheet here. And I just want you to see what sort of streaks are possible. So the way this spreadsheet works, all right, is you don't have to understand all the formulas. But basically, I have a hypothetical team, all right? And this hypothetical team wins 60% of their games, all right? And the way that is handled is I generate random numbers, and they always give me a number between 0 and 1. And then anytime that number is less than 0.6, I count it as a win. Anytime that number is greater than 0.6, I count it as a loss. So this is like imagining that the team's true talent level is 60%. If it were to play games until the end of time, forever and ever and ever, it would win 60% of their games. So what the spreadsheet does is it just randomly simulates a 162 game season. And then what it does is it counts the longest winning streak that team has. So right here, you're going to see that this random team won 14 in a row. This one won 13 in a row. This one won 8 in a row. This one won 8 in a row. So what you're going to do is you're just going to go into the spreadsheet and you're going to run some simulations and just record the longest winning streaks. So what you're going to do is right up here in this box E that's kind of empty, if you type the number 1 and hit enter, that will cause all of these numbers to get recalculated and you'll get new winning streaks here. All right. And then if you go up here and type a 2 and hit enter, it'll cause all of those numbers to get regenerated again and you'll get new longest winning streaks and so on and so forth. If you keep going up there, you'll get winning streaks after winning streaks after winning streaks, and it just keeps simulating entire seasons. So what you're going to end up doing is you're going to end up simulating 50 seasons worth of results. All right. Now, 50 seems like a lot, but it does 4 at a time. So it shouldn't take that long. Like each time you type in a number here, you're getting 4 results. So you've got to do this like 10 or 12 times, and that'll give you the 50 results. All right. And really, the point of this is just to see what sort of streaks can happen just through dumb luck. All right. Because this is a team that's always going to win 60% of the games. And every time I hit a number, it's playing out an entire season worth of games. So this team won 97 games. Their longest winning streak was 6. This team won 96 games. Their longest winning streak was 13. This team won 100 games. Their longest winning streak was 8. This team won 90 games. Their longest winning streak was also 8. And then if I go up here and type 13, it's going to redo that all over again. And if I type 14, it's going to redo that all over again. And you're just going to do this again to get 50 seasons worth of data. You don't have to change the number 50 times. Each time you change the number, you're getting 4 seasons worth of data. And you just want to record what the longest winning streak ends up being for each of those seasons. And then what you're going to do is you're going to just record it in this file right here. So what you'll do is, all right, let me just clear this out here and I'll start over. All right, so I do the first one. I type in a 1. I get 15, 13, 10, and 6. So I'd go over here to 15, put a 1, 13, put a 1, 10, put a 1, and then what was the other one? 6, put a 1. All right, go back to this sheet, change it to 2, because that'll help you keep track. You actually can type in any number, but keeping in order will keep track. And this time I got 9, 8, 10, and 6. So I'll go back here and I'll go 9, 10, 8, and 6. So you're just kind of keeping tallies. So this doesn't mean 11. It means it happened twice. You can kind of think of those as tally marks. And then go up here for 3. All right. And this time I'm getting 14, 8, 8, and 9. So again, I'd go here, 14, 8. Did I get 2 8s? 8, and 9. And you're just going to do that. And then what's going to happen is I'm going to just compile everyone's results. So once everyone does this, I'm going to take everybody's results and put them into one big chart and kind of show you the graph to just, again, have a larger discussion about like streaks and what's possible through just sort of circumstance and random variation. All right. So that's all it's going to be. It shouldn't take you very long to do, like 5-10 minutes to just run the simulations, gather the data. And then once everybody's done that, I'll kind of compile it into one big thing. And we'll have I'll put up a video kind of discussing what it all shows. All right. So that's it. I hope you enjoy the weekend and we'll go from there. All right. Bye.